You're listening to the Reds Podcast.
This is episode number 2. We'll be talking about opportunity and distraction, including the biggest distraction entrepreneurs face, shiny object syndrome. Laurel has a 4-step process to help you overcome distraction. That's coming up on Red Podcast.
This is the Red Podcast. Real entrepreneur development. Make more money. Work less and live a life of freedom. No BS advice that really works. Here's your hosts, David Hooper and Laurel Staples.
David, I don't think I can watch Shark Tank anymore.
Why? Because they're obviously packing the show full of people that...
People that what?
Well, I think the first season of Shark Tank, and, you know, I used to work in Canada a lot, in Toronto, and they've got something called Dragon's Den, which has 2 of the sharks. 2 of the sharks are also 2 of the dragons. So I've seen Dragon's Den from Canada. There's an episode or show, rather, Dragon's Den in England, and it actually came from Japan before that. So it seems like those are some legitimate companies, and the American Shark Tank is, over the last 3 or 4 seasons, has gotten more. It's like people don't need the money, you know? It's like Kickstarter. It's like McDonald's going to Kickstarter because they need some money. So yeah, they already got money.
That's true. Well, I don't know whether the entrepreneurs need money or not. I couldn't say.
Some of them do. Some of these broke-ass entrepreneurs, that's why we're here.
Some of them definitely do. But I think for me, every time I watch it, I just want to either do one of their businesses better than they're doing it, or I'm just like, oh, I just need to start a completely different business, or, oh, I don't need to be in the service industry. I need to be in the product industry.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just distracts me from what I'm trying to do because it gives me 1,000 ideas per episode.
Yeah. I started like 12 businesses last year because of Shark Tank.
You did not.
No, because I've got my shiny object syndrome under control. And that's what we're talking about today.
That is what we're talking about today, because that's a problem that I've had. Seriously, it's like a disease. It's like when you're an entrepreneur.
Festering.
It's festering.
At any moment, it's going to come and attack you.
That's what it is. It's like when you're an entrepreneur. I'm not going to speak for every entrepreneur on the planet, but for me, I can't get through an entire shower without having an idea. I don't know about you. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I got a lot of ideas.
It's like every week there's like a new business idea. And it's not that I'm not satisfied with my idea or that my business right now isn't working great, but it's like, ooh, I could do this other thing. And ooh, this idea on Shark Tank is amazing. There was one lady who made socks, who made like knee-high socks. And I was like, oh, I could make knee-high socks.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I don't even care about socks.
Yeah. Well, they make it look so easy.
They do.
Yeah.
And they make it look easy because they had one picture that went viral on Pinterest, and
that's
then
all
they
it takes these days.
Sold a ton of socks.
Yeah, it's like the 1990s .com thing all over again. Just get a .com name registered, and there's your funding right there.
Well, that's the thing. So I think the topic today, the shiny object syndrome, that's going to be a great topic, because if you're an entrepreneur and you have all these ideas flooding into your brain, what do you do? I mean, how do you pick out the good ones from the bad ones? Because if you're just constantly moving from idea to idea to idea, you know, whether you've started your business or not, you're not going to reach your goals very quickly. I mean, basically, you might be going around in a circle. You might be taking a left every time you hit a stop sign. You're just not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, that definitely affected me in my early days. On the positive aspect of it, though, I think I was able to get in and try some things, and sometimes you find something does work. But when I look back on it, it's like, man, if I had gone through maybe a flight check or something before I jumped in on some of these ideas, I mean, the truth is you never know. You got to jump in before you can find out what works. You never know, and some things take off. But I think that's the problem, is that you've got your sock company, and they put one photo up on Pinterest, and they sold $1 bajillion worth of socks, and then everybody thinks that it's that easy. And most of the time, that doesn't happen.
Oh, you're exactly right. And I think it can be totally new ideas that get you distracted. But for me, over the years, it's been like new marketing techniques. Like I get sucked in by the latest and greatest thing you can do to market your business.
All right, tell me. All right, so like what, like Pinterest?
Well, social media is definitely a way to market your business, but everything from webinars to doing workshops to doing, really, I can't even list them off of my head right now, but really anything that would get your business out there, flyers, new writing, different copy, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So every time I read just a different post or an article or a book or something about a marketing technique, I'm like, ooh, I haven't tried that. I need to do teleseminars, or I need to do a telesummit and interview people, or I have a blog. Now I need a podcast. I have a podcast. Now I need a membership site. I have a membership site. Now I need a product. And you just keep going in that direction. And I think a lot of times you're just chasing the white rabbit there.
Well, and we're going to, can we be honest here?
Yeah.
Laurel? All right. Can we say some controversial stuff, perhaps?
Say it.
I watch people who seem to be very big fans of, let's say, like 4-hour work week or things along that nature, where people are trying to hack and trying to shortcut things. And I think that's where a lot of the problem is. I think that's the foundation of it. We're all looking for a shortcut. And I want you to think for a minute, Laurel, if somebody were trying to lose weight, it's like that person that we all know that tries the latest diet, or that's trying the latest pill or surgery or something just to get these extra pounds off, right? And that stuff never, ever, ever works. They would be much better just watching what they eat, walking around the block a few times, or hitting the gym, or whatever they need to do to burn calories. Just the long-term strategy when they get to the end is going to be much better than these little short-term strategies. Same thing for investing. You see these guys like, well, I could invest my money here in this huge, high gain fund, and sometimes you're better off just throwing it in like a government bond or a savings account, even as lame as that is, right? It's not going to lose money, at least. So I think if you think about your friend who tries all the diets, or maybe you're one of those people who tries all the diets, when being presented with an idea, sometimes it's better just to go for the tried and true.
It is. It's the crash dieting. In my case, the crash dieting of marketing. But it's so tempting when you watch things like Shark Tank and you see this girl with the socks who'd sold a bazillion socks through a Pinterest post that went viral. And you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not on Pinterest. I need to be on Pinterest. And then you get all wrapped up in Pinterest and it doesn't work the same for you, because that's not how it works, because there are no diet pills in this case.
And let me tell you something, though, about that. So Shark Tank obviously is a television show.
Yes.
And it's obviously edited. Those pitches are a lot longer than, like, I know people that have done it, not aired it. But, well, Lori Cheek was on there. You knew her.
Yeah.
And they edit those pitches, 2 or 3 minutes or whatever they are, and they're probably 20, 30, 45 minutes. But I can tell you this, just coming from an entertainment industry background, specifically the music business, a lot of times the stories that we hear, certainly the pitches that we see when they're edited, are not the complete story. We all want to believe that the guy just showed up with a guitar in Nashville, or showed up with his band in Los Angeles, and he was living in his car, and then all of a sudden a record company executive had a flat tire outside the one club he was booked at, his very first gig, and signed him to a deal, and the next thing you know, he's playing arenas. It doesn't happen just like that. It might sort of happen like that occasionally, but a lot of time that's just hype that we're reading. So I think it's important for us to keep that in mind with famous people and certainly successful companies.
And I feel like we're just getting this push-pull every time we read something or see something, because it's not just on television. It's on every blog that you read, every newspaper article. You don't get the whole story. A lot of times you just get the shiny, nice story covered in sprinkles. It's like, oh, I wasn't doing well, and then I did X, Y, or Z, and now I'm doing really well. And so you just get you just get pushed and pulled around to start to think, well, I got to follow in their footsteps. I got to do what they're doing. And then you just get sidetracked from what you're actually doing, and you never get anything done.
Yeah. And everybody's got their story of success. We all want to make success look easy. Another great example is, how did you meet your fiance or your girlfriend or your wife? Couples love being asked that story, right? You and I love being asked that, and we tell them, and we make it sound really, really easy. But what people,
it was kind of easy.
Yeah. But what people don't know about is all the bad dates you had before, and all the whatever that you've had to go through to get to that point. And I think we've got to keep that in mind when we're looking at the shiny object. That's the whole thing that we do really as entrepreneurs is marketing, right? We're shining those objects up.
I mean, you're exactly right. And that's the whole thing with shiny object syndromes, is they're just shiny objects. And you have to go and you have to dig deeper underneath them and see which ones are actually going to support what you're doing. Something, as you said, that you can do in the long haul. It's not just a quick fix. I mean, instead of a diet pill, this is the equivalent of eating less and exercising more. And that's what you have to really figure out, because some shiny objects are good. You know, some of them you can implement, but some of them you just need to stick to your path and not veer down a side trail.
All right, well, let's talk about how to differentiate the shiny objects, the good from the bad.
Well, for me, what I do, and you might do something different, but I create a running list of ideas. And whether it's a business idea, whether it's a marketing idea for
Hey, Laurel, the UPS guy is here.
Ooh.
Are we going to leave the tape running? You going to vamp this while I go out and get this package?
No.
Just keep. You want me to do it?
I mean, he's at the neighbor's house.
No, he's coming to our house because I ordered something.
I know, but he's not here yet.
Okay, well, let's keep going. And then
okay.
When he knocks on the door and the dog goes crazy.
I know, our dog does not like the UPS man.
Then I'll just keep on going.
Well, we can pause, I'm sure.
No, hell no. This is live. We don't do edits on the Red Podcast.
All right, fair enough.
All right, go ahead.
So first, I would create a running list of ideas. And that's whether I have a completely new business idea. Oh, here we go. Here's the doorbell now. So now we got the dog and the doorbell. See, you've just set us up
All right.
here.
So you create a running list of ideas. Go get that, Laurel.
So I will get it. You ramble here.
So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. So we decided to do this podcast, and it could have been a shiny object. And in a lot of ways that it was, because it seems easier than it actually is. Because coming from a radio broadcasting background, and Laurel has done several dozen podcasts herself and has done a lot of media as well.
I'm back.
We knew that it wasn't going to be as easy as we thought that it would. And we made the agreement, this is part of our shiny object syndrome, Laurel, that we're just going to run through this thing. We're not going to do edits. We're going to go live. And whatever happens, if the dog barks, if the UPS guy comes, because we work from home. We have the UPS guy, and we've got FedEx and all sorts of couriers coming like all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And I knew the guy was going to come.
Because you're an Amazon addict.
Well, that too. Not even just the business stuff that we get sent here, but just ordering stuff. I mean, I know my UPS driver by name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You spend half the day telling the dog that the UPS guy is going to come.
Yeah, because the dog doesn't like him. Anyway, let's get back to going through the solution there. So you're going to create a running list of ideas and go more on that.
Yeah, well, any kind of idea. Whether, as I said before twice now, if it's a totally new business idea, whether I want to make socks or whatever I want to do, or if it's a new marketing idea or new social media trick or whatever my idea is, I put it down on paper. So that way it just gets out of my head. I don't have to think about it until 2 a.m. or anything like that. And then what I do, which this is something I had to learn to do. It's not something I did in the beginning, which is why I wasted a ton of time in the early entrepreneur years. I pause before implementing a new idea. And by pause, I mean I give myself 7 days. So if I have some amazing idea that I just really need to do right now, I take 7 days before I do it. So if I saw this woman selling socks because of her viral post on Pinterest, and I'm like, yes, I need to be on Pinterest, that's my next thing, I wait 7 days before I would create a Pinterest account.